Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Tekpon. Today our guest is Jessica, the CEO and founder at Loyee. Hello.
Hi, Christian. Nice to see you again here on the podcast.
Thank you for joining us. At first, for people that don't know yet, what is Loyee?
So yeah, Loyee is a tool that aims to get rid of the sales inefficiencies in the market. And what we do is matching buyers and sellers, but we have a pretty unique approach to it as we are not a marketplace. So we developed a tool that helps to find the right ICP and
Okay.
to target the right companies. And what we do is we scrape for signals on the web to find similar leads. We suggest those leads to the sellers and then in the future also to potential buyers. And this way companies can penetrate different markets and markets that promise the highest growth.
Nice. What would you say is the biggest problem that you solve with the product?
Yeah, companies really, especially in this economy, don't know who to go after first. What is the highest ROI target accounts?
Yes.
And usually the VPs of sales and CROs, they are trying to experiment and find different leads that lead to the highest conversion, but they are not in the field, so they don't know what the nitty-gritty signals are and insights that we need to close an account. And we kind of provide it for them on larger scale so that they can be able to penetrate the market. So we developed a systematic way of doing it. And as said, it should give you like the warmest leads right at the fingertips, but it's a very signal-based approach on what is this company's strategy, who they have as a customer, who are my competitors and their customers. So we kind of map this knowledge about like the space.
Sounds good. What do you think are the top 3 most loved features by our customers?
We are trying to figure it out ourselves. So our perfect customer, at least, is someone who, wants to either move up market or more down market or test like different verticals or horizontal go-to-market strategies. So they want to test. And that's one piece. And the other piece is, they do a deeper level of research. So they get like leads from different tools like Apollo or Clay, and they need to go one level deeper. And that's where we come into place because we scrape the web for like these deep level insights. So for example, we work with billing platforms that need to really get insights about the pricing strategy, or security platforms that need insights about like the compliance strategy, or remote work companies that need to understand the hiring strategy. And usually reps do the research manually and we automate it for them, and we suggest them then these signals and tell them, hey, in your industry, these insights are up and running. You want to look at them. So that's usually where our sweet spot is. So companies are super curious on what their competitors might be researching.
Yes.
So obviously we don't share it, but we give recommendations what is converting well for different industries. So that's definitely a feature that is very highly wanted.
Thank you for sharing. All right, let's take a quick break and introduce you to Dealfront. Now, we all know that getting through to decision makers can feel like breaking through a fortress. But picture this, a tool that not only promises but delivers. Imagine if your sales and marketing team could target ideal fit leads and close deals all within a single platform. And that platform is Dealfront. How is Dealfront different? Its revenue engine is fueled by live European data in multiple languages, providing you with insights and access that other tools simply can't match. No more struggling to find the right decision makers. With Dealfront, it's as easy as few clicks. Here's the magic. With Dealfront, you can harness 3 layers of data: market signals, web visitors, and EU company databases. And there's no need to worry about compliance. Dealfront meets Europe's strict standards, ensuring GDPR compliance that competitors can match. Ready to revolutionize your approach to leads and deals? Grab your free demo today at dealfront.com. That's DEALFRONT.com. Don't miss out on the future of successful deal making with Dealfront. Thank you so much, Dealfront, for sponsoring this episode. Now, let's get back to it. How about the pricing? How does it work?
Yeah, I mean, we are very early stage. So we started with a per seat based pricing model. And now we are moving more towards a usage based pricing model. So currently it's $199 per user, but it has a cap on the usage. And if you want more licenses, you can add more licenses with the capped usage, or you just, you can pay by leads basically.
Yeah. I think it's a trend with usage-based pricing, and I'm happy to see that you apply it as well. So it's good to see that. My next question would be about the market. How competitive is it, and how is Loyee different from your competitors?
Yeah, I mean, the go-to-market space and the sales tech solutions are very competitive. You know, AI reps are using AI more than ever, and ChatGPT is like really pushed like a new wave.
Yeah.
And right now, everybody's waiting, like, okay, who can own the market, who can win the market? Even the VCs are trying to wait and see what is getting too clustered out. There are different trends. Where we see ourselves being different is really focusing on, okay, what's the customer's use case and who are their competitors and what are their customers. So we can create like these text-based signals based on the market mapping. And this is something that we haven't seen strongly. So it's a combination of like a lead prioritization that takes the market into account with lead enrichment. And we are also testing like our value prop and our differentiating factor to not, go into the way of other cool sales tech tools, because we just are big fans of also other solutions out there.
Great answer. When exactly did you start the company, and what was the idea behind it?
Yeah, so we started in Europe, and then in September 2022, we went through an accelerator program. It's called Alchemist in the Bay Area.
Okay.
During that time, we also were part of like a Berkeley accelerator. And that was really when we decided to move the company from Europe to the US and start from scratch. The idea is like a combo of things. So obviously it's always personally motivated. So I was working during my PhD on AI and ML models to match buyers and sellers in a different context.
Okay.
And I was working with a Nobel laureate that kind of helped me develop like a technology that got a Nobel Prize. And then I joined forces with my sister, who was oftentimes in her student times working as like an SDR, and said this needs to be automated. It's no way that, we still have to do that. So that's how it kind of kickstarted, that we landed in sales tech. We both have different backgrounds. So I'm a financial economist and studied computer science, and she's like more on the product side. That navigated us into the sales tech space. And we started off with a different tool, but then we developed this tool internally because we never knew who to go after. In the moment we wanted to know whether it converts or it doesn't, it was already outdated, and we put a lot of manual research into it. So that's basically how this product arose.
That's an amazing story. But why did you decide to move the company from Europe to the US?
Again, it's personal and business reasons. So Amadea, my co-founder, and I, we had already a lot of US exposure through our studies. She more on the West Coast with Berkeley, and me more on the East Coast with Miami and Yale, New Haven. And so it was always like this, American dream. My parents already wanted to migrate to the US. They got stuck in Germany. But so we kind of continued that path, but also because of the market. So we noticed that I'm calling in from Germany, but in Germany, there is just a handful sometimes of larger, B2B SaaS companies that sell SaaS, and the market is very limited. So we knew, just targeting the German market will probably not be, not give us the growth that we need. And then going outside of Germany, you have different regulations. So we never felt comfortable, that we can actually build a great company out in that space out of Germany. And that's why when we got the opportunity to go to the US, we said, okay, let's do it. And in fact, it was really beneficial for us. Like, not only are we working now with the best SaaS experts, or got like super cool investors from the SaaS and AI space, but it really opens up a whole new market for us, a big market, a homogeneous market, and that makes it super exciting.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate this. And I think you put it perfectly. How about the team? How big is the team right now?
We are very small. So we are a pre-seed company. So we are, let's say, 7 people and with some contractors and so on. And I co-founded it with my sister. Then Mike joined. Mike is our CTO. who actually codes, because Amadea and I, we don't code that much anymore. And yeah, then on the go-to-market side, we have, for example, someone that helps us out there, and obviously we have like some a bigger tech team to kind of bring that also into a product.
Have you raised any funding so far?
Yeah, so we raised a pre-seed round, nothing crazy, mainly from investors in the US, angels, and VCs. One of the top 25 VCs in the Bay Area. That is one of the oldest ones, and AI fund that specifically invests into female founders.
Nice. I love that. What did you say was your biggest challenge since starting the company in 2021 or 2?
Since 2022 is honestly also adjusting to the new US market. So, and being also, an academic. So I do have work experience, and it's my third company trial startup. But, this academic mindset and the hands-on culture in the US, that is something that me personally had to learn, and I'm still learning. And as a company, obviously the path to product market fit, like as I mentioned earlier, really understanding where do we differ, how can we put that into messaging, how can we sharpen our value prop, and really identifying, okay, where is it, where we can play a big role. And that's something that obviously we still have a little bit time to figure out, but that's also like a big challenge, because as we know, with the fast advancements in AI, but also in the sales tech landscape.
How about the first customers? How did you find it? I think it's a struggle for every startup. So I love to hear your story.
Yeah, the first customers actually was outbound LinkedIn, and we used a strategy that I can really recommend to earlier stage startups to build a design partnership board. So we did cold outreach on LinkedIn. We picked like the 10 to 30 companies that we would really love to work with, and just that cold outreach to like the VP of sales, CROs, RevOps, because we did not know which persona to work with.
Okay.
At first. And from that, we established like a super cool customer advisory board, and they went with us into co-development. So they're still kind of our beta users and give us like the feedback. And we always have the idea of, let's not put too much resources into building a product that no one needs. So we first started as a Slack bot, and we provided prioritized leads in like a Slack interface.
Okay.
And, when we got like our first customer feedback, we were actually super happy, because I guess it was the first one was like an SDR manager, and she then mentions, "Oh my God, you are saving me 4 hours already every day." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, just with a Slack bot." So that was kind of cool. And yeah, I hope that in the long run, we will get a lot of these positive moments.
I love that. How about today? Today, what do you say is the most effective go-to-market strategy? I think you have to say outreach.
I mean, LinkedIn is working pretty well for us. We prefer cold outreach, but we haven't leveraged yet like warm intros or network or social selling. For us, the challenge is like not finding, we are still not in a space where we scale our go-to-market. So we are still experimenting with different, who should we go after? Who should we reach out to?
Yes.
So we still do like a lot of experimentation on that end, but for that, LinkedIn is very helpful. We tried cold calling. We realized it's not for us, but it's also because we do still like a lot of like, early stage founder-led sales. And we need like very targeted lists. Very few companies that we go after. So focusing more on the quality than like the quantity. And for that, LinkedIn is great. We got some great recommendations from previous customers or current customers. And yes, also tried some outbound, but very qualitative.
Yeah. And you mentioned social selling and you don't do it enough, but from my opinion, you do it right. And I think you have a great network and some great exposure on LinkedIn. So I'm asking, do you have any advice for founders looking to build their network, looking to social sell, attend events, be out there, basically?
Yeah, I guess I can recommend your book, right? About the super networking. So yeah, I think just like, especially as an academic founder, sometimes it's very difficult to throw yourself out there. And what I can encourage everybody to do, to just do it and not overthink it. So, if you have an idea, just share it. If you if you want to talk to someone, just go and talk to them. So really don't have the confidence of doing it, and people are always willing to help. So that would be my advice. Have really the confidence of just approaching people. And this is independently of what format. It can be on LinkedIn, it can be in a cold call, right? It can be on an outreach, but always make clear why them and why now. Because if you can answer these two questions, like why do I want to reach out to them? Why do I want to talk to them? And why now? Then everybody, at least gives you a couple of seconds to listen.
Good tip. I like it. How about the vision for the company? What are the next plans?
Yeah, the next plans. So right now we focus mainly on the sales teams that are super busy, getting the high quality leads.
Yep.
But we are building up this database or knowledge graph, if you want to call it that way, where we also understand the buyer behavior. And the buyer behavior is for us motivated by 3 different factors, is behavioral traits on the buyer, behavioral states on the buyer, and behavioral actions of the buyer.
Okay.
And that database we are constantly feeding. So once we grow, we can then also recommend to the buyers that portray different traits, characteristic or different signals or different actions, the companies that they should be looking at to potentially buy from, and really have this matchmaking algorithm up and running. So right now it's still in the early shoes. And in the future, we hope that the sales market will not be anymore the most inefficient market, but the technology can actually help to match great products to potential buyers that have pains that they probably don't even know about, and kind of save a lot of time in this world.
Yeah, I think it's a good vision, and hope that comes true. How about your story? How did you start your career? How did you? Yeah, what can you tell us?
How did I start my career? Yeah, good question. I don't know. Do I have a career? Just kidding. No. So I started more on the consulting and finance side. So more in the M&A space and banking space. And then I had a company that was in the design space, like a B2C app for furnishing apartments. Then it became furnishing offices. And then I decided to leave that design space and do my PhD, to also create some skills around, data, machine learning, textual analysis, and so on. So I did my PhD there. I was working at the university. I was teaching 2,500 students about different topics. Worldwide. And when I was at the Nobel Prize ceremony of the professor I was working with, I realized, oh God, academia is great, but the reason why I sit there is because, I know how to talk to people and sell stuff. So, maybe these skills are better in business than in academia.
Yes.
So that's when I started another company in the fintech space, and then realized, okay, this is not my passion. I really want to work with a consumer group that I can really identify with, that I can really serve and make happy. And I ended up in the sales tech space, and that's where Loyee started.
This is amazing. And do you think somebody needs some form of academia in order to succeed in the SaaS space?
No, of course not. I think you should definitely have the operators, but you obviously need tech skills as a founding team.
Yeah.
So I think a combo of a great operator and a great, engineer, that is way then enough to establish something super cool.
What would be your best piece of advice for a starting founder?
Best piece of advice for a starting founder. really choose where you problem, or even from the solution side coming, something that you want to work on long term and where really your passion lies, and make sure that you align exactly on those points with your potential co-founders, because the startup journey is really not easy, and especially not nowadays, when we don't hear like these founding stories and the successes that are just easier when everything has more money and budget.
Yes.
So I think it's really important that you work on something that you're really convinced about and choose the right people to go through this journey.
I think that's crucial. Thank you for sharing that. I have one last question for you. What's your favorite software product, SaaS product that you use, but apart from Loyee?
Apart from Loyee, I would say right now, OpenAI is one of my favorite companies. ChatGPT, I mean, we also highly leverage it in our own tools. So I love the earlier mission of the company, and also like how they provided like such a great tool and have such a great trajectory. In my stock portfolio, I would say AMD is performing very well, which is also a great AI enabler. So I would say these are right now my top 2 picks.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to tell the audience today on the podcast?
Yeah, I mean, if you are thinking of starting your own company, or if you are trying to identify which markets to go after and how you can penetrate the market fastest, then never hesitate to reach out to me. I mentioned, I'm very active in outreach on LinkedIn, but that also means that people can reach out to me on LinkedIn. So always happy to share my experience. And also I'm a mentor for several startups, mainly in the Alchemist Accelerator program. So if you are thinking of applying to that accelerator, I'm very happy to, go with you through the pitch and recommend you for an interview there.
What are the benefits of joining an accelerator?
If you're very early stage, they give you like the first check, which is always nice. So, then investors feel more comfortable giving you more money if they have already some fund invested. But also, you are in a space with like-minded founders, and you first work, developing the use case, finding the first customers, and, getting like exposure to a network. And if you don't have a big network yet, so it was for us, right? Moving to the US, we didn't have a big network of customers or investors. It's a great way of, getting like your foot in.
Okay, I think that was it. Thank you so much for joining. You did fantastic, and it was a unique story. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, thank you so much, Jessica. You did fantastic.
Well, thank you, Christian, and looking forward to seeing you soon at the conferences.
Yeah, when the season starts, right?
Perfect. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much.